Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am back from taking an extended break due to personal reasons, but I'm back doing readings now on a little more regular scale starting as of today. So I'm going to be doing a hello from heaven and a message from the other side. I've actually had a request from a friend to start with this one, so I'm going to honor her request and start my readings out again with doing a mediumship reading. This reading will be done in conjunction with, it's actually going to be our full moon total lunar eclipse in Taurus at 16 degrees November 8th. And this is also a very intense, highly influential Scorpio season time. So it's all about change. It's all about transformation. It's about endings, conclusions, resolutions, anything to do with the full moon, full of emotion, right? And it's working on changes, and I can't think of a better time and a better place to do a mediumship reading than what we have right now. So when the lunar eclipse comes in tomorrow, November 8th, be sure to put out your full moon lunar eclipse intentions. And do pay attention to your dream state, right? And like I said, Scorpio season is just a wonderful, wonderful transformation season. Transition, it's about changes, it's about truths, it's renewal, regeneration, time zone and energy as well too. So in with the ending of one cycle, the beginning of a new cycle. One door opens, the next door closes, the next door closes, the next door opens. So with that being said, we will be getting into our spread here. First of all, I do need to give you a few little messages that did come out here before we started. This one actually has a lot of heartbreak and a lot of sorrow and a lot of grief around it. I could just tell when I was getting the cards ready, that message kept on coming up over and over and over. So we have people who are very, very broken-hearted, have a lot of sorrow, have a lot of grief-stricken. And for whoever this has probably been going on for a very long time, and this is, again, for multiple people, but they tend to want to hang on to the grief and sorrow. They're having trouble letting it go or dealing with it. And that was a very, very prominent message right before I even started this reading. Very grief-stricken, heartbroken, and that feeling and that sorrow and that grief is hanging on with whoever this is for. So we will start with our messages and see what it has to tell us, first of all. And your loved ones are around you. That was another message that came out. They're around in many places around you, many places at once. I mean, we can't do that here on Earth 3D lineal time, but it's not that way up there. Okay. I will always point you in the right direction. Okay, so this has got the compass in there, which is really, really nice. So some people might be feeling a little bit lost in direction. Again, very grief-stricken, a lot of sadness, a lot of sorrow, and someone's hanging on to this. So they're trying to steer you away from this. It is beautiful where I am, right? Okay, so that's another message. And these three came out in a clump. Life is a series of choices. Choose love. Yeah, I can't think of a nicer message than that. Where they're at is a good place, and they're wanting you to deal with your grief, deal with your heartache, your sorrow, your heart being sad all the time. You know, it basically come up basically to the Five of Cups, and that's about sadness, grief. You're steadily looking back with a lot of sadness and a lot of grief and a lot of heartache in your life, and it's something that you're really clinging to, and they don't want you to do that. Okay. And I'm going to show you the bottom of the deck because I do that often on my channel. Although you may not understand it now, everything happens for a reason, okay? So again, need some help with some dealing with grief and sadness. Okay, so we will start out and we will see who this person is. Okay, so they're giving you the message. Life is a series of choices. Always choose love. It's beautiful where I am. And I will always point you in the right direction. So there's some people that are just kind of a little bit off the beaten path, or maybe they're not sure what direction they're supposed to go, how they're supposed to get there. But you know what? If you pay attention to your surroundings, any sort of sign or symbol, again, very, very prominent message, listen to your dreams. So if you guys do see your loved ones on the other side in dream state, write it down, because that is a point in direction, right? They're trying to help you, helping to guide you. And pay attention to little signs and signals around you each and every given day. Okay, who is this person? Okay, this person you thought a lot of, I can tell. This is the Star card. So this could have been a person with Aquarius in their birth chart. I would say a heavy or prominent Aquarius, or if it's not a prominent heavy Aquarius, it's somebody you thought the world of, and they were basically the star of the show, the star of your life. They had a huge impact and a huge influence in your life. You thought a lot of them. And after the passing, it's kind of something that's, not that it leaves you, it doesn't, but the grief is on a very extended high end that you're not, just can't let go of. And also the star, it's also about restoring, it's about restoring faith. It's about restoring hope, and it's actually a healing too. This person actually, looking at this right now, they could have been a healer of some type. They could have been into religion, spirituality. They could have been into massage, Reiki. They could have been into any sort of healing and helping people. And for some reason, a nurse is coming to mind. It just like that came to a nurse, but somebody who was thought very, very highly of with the star. And again, it keeps on wanting to go back to the Aquarius. And another thing, what I see just right now, it's I'm there with you all the time. And when you look up to the stars, they're there. They're there with you. Okay, so there's too many cards here. And they're offering healing, they're offering you help, they're offering you to restore your faith, your hope, and heal your grief. And again, it's like when you look up in the sky and you look up in the stars, it's think of me. Which is kind of a neat thing. It's a very dreamy, magical energy. And again, this is somebody you thought the world of. And this could have been a caregiver too. Like I say, it could have been like a light worker or a healer, but this also could have been a caregiver. And like the first thing that comes to mind, nursing, or a caregiver, or somebody who looked after somebody else. Okay, who is this? Nine of Wands. Okay, this is somebody, Nine of Wands in this deck. Again, so this is somebody who was a hard worker in their time and their day. And they had a lot on their shoulders, and they like to keep, and this, typically the Nine of Wands is the perseverance card. So this is somebody who had a lot of energy, a lot of fire. I guess Wands is also two fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius in their chart as well. Could have been somebody who was a very hard worker and had a lot of energy to push to the end. Again, the Nine of Wands is the card of perseverance. Keep on going till you're done. And it's like lighting that torch. And if you notice these two cards, there's a lot of light around there. Yeah, a very hard worker, and a person who always gave to everybody else. I kind of think that I can see why someone would really, really miss this person, whoever this person is, because it was someone who gave, someone who looked after, someone who was a caregiver, a healer. And if this happened to be a spouse or a caregiver, I can see why this person would be greatly missed, because they did so much for you in many probably different ways or different areas of life. You might have been very dependent on this person, actually. Okay, Seven of Cups. So Seven of Cups, this is, again, a hard worker. Somebody had their fingers in every bowl. Somebody very, very busy who had more than one thing on the go at a time, many things on the go all the time. This could have been a healer who did many, many things. It could have been somebody like a caregiver, a nurse, a doctor, even just a neighbor who did everything for this person. It's like the Seven of Cups can be, this is not giving me the card of confusion, and it's not giving me infinite possibility. This is not the regular reading for the Seven of Cups. This is somebody who is always, always, always on the go, doing 110 miles an hour and never quit. And they were very, very busy, and they fulfilled their duty right to the end, and they persevered, had the extra energy to carry out each and every job. This person was very busy. I want to say something to do with the health field, or a caregiver, looking after others. This could have been a wife, it could have been a mother, it could have been a grandparent, or a relative, somebody who was into caregiving. And that's Okay. And I can now totally see why they said there was so much grief and so much sorrow and so much heartache, and somebody was really missing them and hanging on to that. Okay. Again, this is about restoring the balance, harmony, peace, justice. It's also the card of karma. Again, this person could have been very, very spiritual, because we have the star and we have the justice. Now, the reason I say that for this is fairness was very important to this person. Having justice was very important to this person. And having balance, restoring balance, and restoring homeostasis. Now, it's typically not going in, this is kind of a very different reading actually, because the justice card is not going with the typical read of law, justice, fairness, balance, harmony. This is pointing towards health. This was a healthcare worker or in the healthcare field or a healer or something like that. And it's about restoring balance in the body, restoring balance in life. Now, whether that be mentally, physically, emotionally, and someone who went the extra mile for everybody and did multiple jobs in multiple fields to do with any sort of healing, health. It could have been acupuncture too, tarot reader, anything like that, light worker, anything like that. And again, I'm just going to show you. You guys thought the world of this person, whoever this is. This is really quite an intense reading. And you'll know as soon as I say that who I am talking about. I'm going to leave this one right here. Again, you guys thought the world of this person. And this could, there's no gender. It could be male or female. Okay, so now that we get on with that, they are still helping you from the other side, and you can tell that by the messages here. So good on you, and it's great. So sometimes we just need to sit, meditate, have our quiet time, get rid of the mind chatter, and sit and tap into your intuition to, connect to above the 3D. Okay, and this is what they're telling you. This is going to be a card of, say, this is the person we're talking about. This is the messages from the person in the spirit realm to you. Okay, now, and we're going to go do a row of basically what this person wants to tell you. Now, this reading is going to go for about the next month or so. Okay, so this is the page of coins. Okay, so the page of coins, often this is a messenger card. It's about messages coming in on the tangible level. So it'll be messages coming in. It can be do with everyday life things. It can do with money, finances, assets, house, home, relationship. Or it could be actually a message about anything. But this is about messages coming in. Okay, so this is going to be one of two things. It's either going to be messages you're going to receive on the 3D level, something to do with the everyday tangible area, or it's going to be the messages from the above that this person is going to send to you. Probably, I like to go in the dream state because it's a very, very easy connection if you can remember your dreams. So I always encourage keeping a dream journal. This person is telling you it's time to move on, move forward to better times. And again, because whoever this is directed at is very grief-stricken. And it's something that they're having a very, very hard time dealing with and letting go of some of the grief. But they're saying, it's time to let go of the grief. They're with you all the time. It's just that you haven't realized that, and death is a natural part, and we don't get to say when we get to go, when we get to stay. It's one of those things. But this person is with you, and that's a message to make you feel better. So if you think you're all alone, you're not, because they're there with you. It's time, and this is a message of them telling you it's time to move on, move to better waters, move to smoother waters, better times. It's time to move on into a positive area of life, and living in grief is a very, very tough place to be, and they don't want that for you, right? So turn it around, and if that was their message to you here in the 3D world, telling you to be happy, let some of the grief go, deal with the grief, and if you need grief counseling, go get the counseling from a professional or a friend or a family member. And don't feel guilty about things starting to feel better and the grief starting to heal. But sometimes when there's so much grief and you do start to feel better, sometimes people feel guilty for starting to feel better and have some humor and have some lighthearted days. That's perfectly normal. That's what this person wants you to do. Let go of some of the grief, heal your heart, heal the situation, start looking forward to better times, stop looking back and being in such a grieving state, because as soon as you do that, things will turn around for you, okay? And you might get messages from people too, right? Okay, this actually flipped up in the pre-shuffle. So we could be looking at, they're telling you basically move on to better, happier times. This is actually a really nice message from there. And they're giving you a message. You might be receiving a message from friends, family too. It's kind of a dual message thing. It's time to move on to better, smoother times, happier times, and it's time to be happy. And if you need to be happy, to go join for some friends and be happy and have some joy and have some good times and some laughs, it's time to do that. This is like basically clinking cups. It's a celebration cup. It's a happy time, and you're to be with friends. So if someone out there is sitting and spending a lot of time alone, don't do that. Their message is go move forward, be with friends, be with family, start picking up your life again and having some celebration, some good times, some visits. Enjoy yourself, go for supper, maybe a drink or two. I mean, don't indulge and get carried away or anything. But this is moving on to happier times, and you can't get it any more straightforward than this. Like I said, that card actually flipped up in the pre-shuffle. And for some reason, I've got this too. Not only moving on to happier times, visiting, getting out, celebrating this person's life, having some humor, getting your grief under control, moving forward in a positive state and some happiness again. But this involves 3 people. There's 3 people involved here with this person. And it's 3 specific people. It could have been clients. It could have been just friends. I don't know. King of Wands. Okay, so this has got to do with... This has got to do with a male in here too. We could be looking at 4 people. Obviously, if it's a caregiver or a light worker, there will be more than 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people, but it's going to be main people involved here. And again, this is involving a man, and it's got to do with an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius placement. This is an older man, so it could be somebody this person was involved with. It could be somebody that you could look for to help, someone coming in to help you, or someone to celebrate some better times, someone to help you get out of the grief-stricken state. And whoever this person is very, very logical. They're very, very good at taking charge. And to me, this could be help coming in. It's an older man. Well, I want to say man because it's being not necessarily gender specific, but it's an older person with some experience under their belt, right? Coming in to help. So, and it's also saying, apply some logic to your situation, because if it's been sitting in a certain amount of grief for an extended time, use some logic with that. Use some this is mature energy, right? In a very logical fashion, and taking charge of your life and moving forward in a positive fashion. Yeah, a new start. Okay, so this is like the Ace of Wands, okay? This is actually quite lovely. So again, we have a lot of fire energy in here, right? So this could be involving Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but they're basically saying it's time to move on to better, happier times. Start dealing with some of your grief. Start feeling some better days, having some better days ahead. And if you're feeling better, don't feel guilty about not feeling sorrow and grief anymore, because that's perfectly natural. This person doesn't want you to do that. It's moving on to better times. Put your passion, your fire, your new start into something creative, a creative endeavor, something like that. But this is about a new start. A new start, bringing the sorrow cycle, the grief cycle to working on a closure, because that doesn't happen overnight. Working on closure, working on to better times ahead. A new start is what you need. And I can't think of a better time than the full moon lunar eclipse we're having here November 8th in Taurus, right? We are in Scorpio season. Scorpio season is about transformation, transition, renewal, regeneration. Is about bringing closure, endings, ending of cycles, those kind of things, and bringing a new one in. And here we go. It's perfect timing for this. I feel a lot of sadness for this person, whoever this is, who has so much grief in their heart. Again, if you need help from family, friends, professional help, go do it, because I think it's time. Oops. Okay, this flipped up twice. We'll take her. That's the Empress. Okay, again, this is birthing a new start. We have the Empress card. Now, this is the Empress. This is someone who's very, very good at manifesting the Midas touch. Put it out there, a very high vibe, very, very well aligned between here and now. So, again, this is something about a new start, birthing a new thing. Again, we have new starts here, like over and over and over. So, if you guys have been working on or thinking about a new creative endeavor, this could actually be the birth of a baby too. It's a new start. There's two new starts that they're after here. They're trying to tell you, this could be a pregnancy. It could be. One of you out there involved with this person could be expecting, wanting to be pregnant. And it's a new start. It's a new start in two different ways. There's a new start in, starting to deal with the grief, getting onto happier, better times, celebration, help coming in. A lot of communication coming in here. But it's also the start of birthing a new thing. So it could be birthing a new project, a new idea, a new way of life, birthing a new cycle. Except we have birthing two new cycles because we also have a new cycle with passion and drive and fire behind it, right? So whoever this note is for, there's two new starts here that they want you to pay attention to, right? And that's what they're getting at. Like it's time to get life back on track, basically. The right direction. Like every time I see that compass, it's like, okay, straighten out. We need to figure out what's going on here, and we need to work with this, and we need to get on the right path, the right direction, and we need to basically go from neutral, put it into drive, and take step one. So, except whoever this is for, there's two new cycles coming in here, which is kind of neat. That's a very, very distinct, message with this. Time to move forward in life, and it's time to start feeling better and letting some of the sadness and grief, sorrow, heartache go. And there is something else too. I refer back to the Five of Cups because it actually did flip up in the pre-shuffle. There is opportunity there, except when someone is so grief-stricken or so sad or upset about something, they're so focused on how they feel, they're actually missing the opportunity by not turning around and looking at it. And in the Five of Cups, there's 3 spilt cups. There's two cups standing with opportunity that people haven't noticed. That's this. And you might have been on a path to do something before this person passed, and it just went into a stall or went into reverse, or you never really worked on it since. And it's time to work on that. Yes, it is. Okay, it's time to work on those projects or that project. And again, I want to say this is very, very. This won't be for everybody, but this has got pregnancy involved because there could be somebody out there who knew this person that actually is pregnant. And again, it's new starts twice over. Again, it's a very, very nice fiery start, a new project, going to a new area, a new cycle. It's 2 new cycles anyway. We'll leave it at that, and you can, however that resonates with you. And we have the 8 of Wands. Okay, 8 of Wands. This is kind of a really, really nice final card to get for this. Again, I did say before that there was, there we have the World again. Wow, okay. Anyway, we have the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is about high communication. Again, there's going to be rapid communication here going throughout this whole next month. So again, don't forget to put out your full moon intentions, okay? So that'll be important. Second of all, this is about communication. So it's going to be communication not from your loved one in spirit to you, which will probably come through you to dream state or visions or the third eye, that kind of thing. So pay attention to those thoughts that just randomly run through your head with no thought actually going into it. That would count. This could actually be about moving. The 8 of Wands is very indicative about moving. So whoever is involved here, that could be one of your new starts. Somebody is going to be getting a whole lot of communication from multiple people. We could be looking at anywhere from 3 to 4 people, different people. Could be family, could be friends, could be clients that this person had, or somebody, whoever. This person knew a lot of people, whoever this is. That could be anybody, but it's definitely 4 people involved. It's got to do with a man too. So there is going to be communication amongst all of you. There is going to be fast movement ahead. So if it's kind of like a stagnant time, Be ready to move forward quickly, because that's going to happen. And for some of you, probably a lot of you, there's going to be a lot of you moving or making arrangements to move into a new cycle, a new house, a new home, a new living condition, a new cycle in life. But it's either moving, it could be towns, cities, states, countries, whatever, or it's moving in a different direction in life, or moving on. And for a lot of you, it's going to be all three. So this is really, really neat. And this is basically, you got the world at your fingertips, right? And so every time I like this card, because again, this is somebody you guys thought the world of. And when you look at that, it looks like an eyeball, right? And so this, to me, it's like, if you pay attention, you can see. To me, every time I see this, this represents the third eye to me. So again, pay attention to your third eye, images, visions, thoughts, whatever that is. It will get you the messages you need to know. And again, the world, not only that you thought the world of this person, but again, this is indicating new cycles. Ending of old cycles, beginning of new cycles. And so it's prominently, this could actually end up turning into 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Or it's basically 2, but just very, very energized, right? And again, there is probably a lot of karma being played out here, because both world cards tend to be the karma cards. What comes around goes around. The beginning of cycles, the end of cycles. And right now we're sitting at the end of a cycle. So there could be a few people completing 2 cycles in life, 2 different cycles in life at the same time. 2 new starts starting up, which is, like, again, perfect timing for the full moon lunar eclipse, right? And Scorpio season. Beautiful, beautiful energy for transformation, moving on, regeneration, renewal, to get up and running in the next cycles of life. And again, this is very prominent about kids. Okay, so if it's not a pregnancy, not a baby coming, there is children involved with this as well. And this could be like even getting into a new business or something like that, or something to do with a new cycle of work, or a new idea, a creative project, something like that, getting it up and off the ground. So basically, your person here is telling you it's time to move forward in life into happier, better times. And it's time to move forward, putting some closure to old cycles, getting your new cycles up and running. This is something that got put on the back burner after this person passed away. They're doing good. They're doing good. And you know what? They're always with you. And remember, life is a series of choices. And it's always choose love. And it's beautiful where they are. They're happy. And again, the next message is everything happens for a reason, right? They're always with you, and they're always going to point you in the right direction. So do pay attention to the divine messages you do get. All right? And that will end our reading for the Hello from Heaven and a message from the other side. And thank you for dropping in. It's been way too long, of course. So it's good to be back. And thank you for joining me on my channel, taking the time to stop in. If the reading resonates, you like it, claim it, and seal it with a midnight kiss. If not, you can always ditch it and leave it. And remember, we're always at free will choice. So may this shine on you in a positive way. Remember, live, laugh, and love, and always keep a sense of humor, because it helps, right? Wishing you many blessings, health, and happiness. And remember to be happy, to love, and to be loved. And that's pretty much life's accomplishments out there, right? So if you like, click like, share, and subscribe. That would be great, because it helps my channel grow. Like I said, I've been off YouTube for quite an extended time due to personal reasons here. But anyway, we're getting back in the saddle and getting going. So anyway, again, time to deal with some grief and some sadness and some sorrow, and not holding it so close to your chest and in your heart, right? Time to move on to better times. And that's what this person wants. But this person shone like a star, and everybody thought the world of this person, whoever this person was. It was very, very important to many people. Anyway, until then, stay happy, stay healthy, take care of yourself, and take care of others. Have a good evening, and goodbye.